Hey guys, our first guest is from my hometown. Now, he's a singer, songwriter, actress, and author of the book, The Subway Diaries. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show for the first time, Miss Heidi Kole. How are you, ma'am?
Hi, I'm good, Michael. How are you?
The best day of my life, as my man Derek Bozeman always says.
I guess what you said. I'm like, that's awesome. That was in New York City.
Yeah. You know what, my first question definitely is, how does a young lady from D.C. end up securing her first professional acting gig at the age of 15?
I just picked up the phone. There was this program from a touring theater, and I just found the program, and I picked it up, and I went upstairs to my parents' bedroom while they were having some kind of lunch, and I dialed information. I found the phone number, and I called up the theater, and I said, "Hi, my name's Heidi, and I'm a singer and a dancer and an actress, and I'd like to perform in your theater this summer." And somehow I was in touch with the director, Robert O'Neill Butler, and he said, "Well, how tall are you?" And I told him, "I'm tiny, I'm 5'1", and he goes, "Well, you could be Jessie." I mean, this is just so random. This is how my life works. So he asked me to send a headshot and a resume, which I really didn't have, and so I put one together, and I was touring the eastern United States, and then they asked me back the next year to do the same thing. So that's how that one happened. They all seem to sort of random. Yeah.
Now, prior to that first gig, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
Oh, nothing but on stage. There was no doubt in my mind. I mean, short of athletics, I mean, that's my other passion, but there was no question. It was before the womb. I knew music, theater, dance, or anything artistic. There was no doubt in my mind. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
So, on stage. And
now,
music is my very first passion. Out of all of the things I've done, stunts, dance, theater, all of them I love, but music is always the one that I need.
And that's what I was about to ask you. When you started working professionally on your musical career, what type of things were you involved in, and what was that experience like? Because reading your bio, you did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I have done a lot of stuff. I actually was in D.C. at the time, and I was doing stunts and voiceover, but, you know, I love it. I love that. But I in my spare time, I started to write music, and I wrote two full musicals. And then I just started to write standalone songs, because I really hadn't been exposed to much else in my life other than musical theater and opera and classical. And then I started to sort of listen to other things, and I wrote standalone songs, and then I taught myself guitar, and then I came to New York. And everything flipped upside down when I ended up in the subway, for the best. I have to say, for the best.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I really found how my heart flies musically. I mean, everything about the sound down there in the trains it moves me. It's just phenomenal to me. So.
Yeah, and I'm gonna ask you about that, because that's pretty interesting, that route. Now, you talked just a little bit about, you know, and I hear through the grapevine that you're a pretty good athlete and dancer and gymnast and stuff like that. But did you ever know that type of experience will result in being a stunt woman? No, I didn't know that from the beginning. It was another one of those, wow, a stunt person, I want to be a stunt person. It was like calling the professional theater. I was like, I want to be a stunt person. And so I just called up a stunt coordinator. I weaseled, not knowing the world, you know, it's like, I want to be president. It was sort of that kind of thing, because you just don't do it that way. And there happened to be a gig happening where they needed my size, and I double teens and children a lot for Disney and ABC and New Line and HBO, all that stuff, and it was just serendipitous, you know. And they needed someone. I was there. I did it, and but all the things I have done in my life athletically, like you said, gymnastics and running and horses and swimming, skating, it all plays into the stunt world, which I love, and I love the guys in it. It's a crazy world, but I'm in love with that whole thing, the whole insanity factor. I love it, and the skill that's involved in it is
it blows my mind what these guys do, what they put together. I'm in awe.
I was about to say, stop using all those SAT words on the show.
I'm sorry. One. Which one was SAT? Awe, not good.
No, it's something with an S. You lost certainty, whatever. Anyway, no, I'm just teasing with you. When checking out your bio and things and just reading about you, guys, you can check out her website. It's the subwaydiaries.com, and I'll give you more information in a second. But, Heidi, you state that your most truthful mode of expression is your singing voice, in which you have sang all over the world, like you spoke about, New York, D.C., and France. Why did singing win out over songwriting?
Oh, it hasn't won out over. In no way has it won out over. It goes hand in hand. But I think I feel most actively alive. I feel very alive writing songs, but I feel most actively alive when I'm with people and performing and singing most specifically. Is that an SAT word? Sorry. Anyway, so in the trains, I'm so up close to everyone. I'm as close as you can get, and it's not winning out, but it's sort of the second half of the puzzle. There's like 50-50, songwriting and singing, and they go hand in hand. And I can't wait when I write a new song and I want to try it out. I can't wait to go down there and try it out, because within a minute if it's going to fly on the A train. I mean, there's no if and or but with Times Square and 1,000 people standing there, if it's going to make it, or if it's going to make people happy or make people wish the train was there sooner than it is,
And you know what? Your latest project, it's called the Subway Diaries. It's a book that you did, which, guys, you can pick it up at the subwaydiaries.com. It documents your life as a busker. I think I'm saying that right. And I had to look the word up because I had no clue what busker meant. But can you tell people what it means? Because you're talking about it, and I don't think a lot of people understand what that is.
Yeah, it was on your SATs, Michael. I'm sure. But it's a term in Europe. It's spelled B-U-S-Q-U-E-R. In America, it's B-U-S-K-E-R. But most Americans don't know what it means. It's when people perform in public, usually musically, but oftentimes it could be tap dancing or mime, but for tips or donations. That's busker. I had to actually define it in the book as well, because it's not a commonly used word at all in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
In Europe, it's very, very, very common. And actually, the underground, I guess underground, yeah, they use it as well. They use busking. Mostly, they'll say going to work or singing, whatever.
Let's not talk about SATs, because my daughter just nailed I think it was a 1560 on the SAT.
Oh, my God. Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, you hear me yelling through the studio. What was that score, baby? 1520. She knocked out a 1520 on the SAT, and I bet you she didn't even study. Just smart.
Oh, my God. Congratulations.
Yeah, she killed it. I'm not going to tell you what I got on there.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll tell. No, I won't tell. Hey, check this out. No, real talk. Empower Edge Marketing. My girl Yolanda, she knew. Did you? Yeah, no. She's. I'm sorry. I'm multitasking here, Heidi. I'm sorry. In the Subway Diaries, I actually read you gave us a snippet of it, and I'm pulling this from the book itself. You says that it's funny how when you least expect it, life throws you a curve that pulls out a strength you never knew you had, a strength that changes you forever. What was that curve for you?
Oh, well, there are many curves, I'm sure, but that one was when I came to New York. I came as a musician and a stunt person primarily, and I wasn't quite sure where I'd land 100% because I love both, and I wasn't quite sure, but stunts, pay quite well. They're unionized. I'm SAG and AFTRA, so I was working a little bit, and then I had an accident, just ice skating, just a random accident, and that was the curve because it laid me up, and I couldn't work. And when I was laying on the physical therapy table, my physical therapist, who actually was a former classical guitarist, I was talking to her about the subways. I was like, Joe, I got to make some money. I'm running out, and it's hard to work because of the pain. And I said, I think I want to try playing the trains just to see if I can do it. I'd always wanted to, just once, just to say I'd done it. I had no intention of like living there. But so one day I brought my guitar to physical therapy, and I forced myself. It was colder than it is today, and it's really cold. It was like February in New York, and I knew if I went home I wouldn't go out again, so I brought my guitar, and I made myself go straight to the trains. And that day was probably the scariest day of my life. Stunts, everything, no matter where I performed, it trumped it all. But by the time the day was done, something had changed in me, and something had left me while singing that left me feeling so completely at peace and happy and free that I had to come back. And I kept coming back and kept coming back. So it was a turning point. It was a magical feeling. And not actually until I wrote the book did I know what that was that left me. And I now encourage almost any, especially singers, but musicians, to do a week in the trains, because it'll flip your world as to what art and performing really is. It'll reground you. It focuses you very clearly on the truth of art versus noise, and what moves people.
Wow.
So I'm grateful, you kind of, the things that you think are the worst are sometimes the best.
Yes, that's what it's all about. It's about the gratefulness, and as a matter of fact, I have Van Gaither is going to be joining us a little bit later, and we're talking about the music industry as well. And I think that when you talk about resiliency is one of the toughest traits. It's one of those traits that you can't teach. You must have, you know what I'm saying, and must really understand the definition. And I think that as a musician, that's one of the biggest characteristics that you must have is resiliency, because the music business is a tough business. I know, I really know, just from looking at artists. Just looking at record sales today is just that, how as an artist, when you sell, 10 million records back in the day, or your first week sales on your previous album was 3, 4, 5, 600,000 copies or whatever, and then you drop another album and you can barely sell 100,000. If you're not resilient, you will never bounce back from it. So definitely as a musician, I definitely understand. Guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Heidi Kole, author of The Subway Diaries, which you can pick up at Barnes & Nobles, or you can visit her website.
Yeah. And Transit Museum, the website. It's all on all ebook readers. Kindle is formatted for that. Nook, iPad. It's on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Barnes & Noble, the real store in Union Square, New York, the Transit Museum, Grand Central, Politics and Prose in Washington, D.C., and please follow me on Twitter at /Heidi Kole if you want to know where I'm performing and when I'm performing. And on Facebook, /The Subway Diaries or Heidi Kole, MySpace, and the website. I'd love to have you guys follow me.
Heidi, how you just going to cut me off like that?
I'm so sorry.
You and Jenny Walker. Oh, my God. Yeah. You guys are professionals. Just cut me off and just start plugging your stuff. I'm not ready for you to go yet, Heidi.
Okay. I'll stick around.
Hold on, let me do this one more time. Hey, guys, if you're just joining us, we're speaking with Heidi Kole, author of The Subway Diaries, which you can pick up at all those spots she just said. plus Barnes & Nobles, and her website at thesubwaydiaries.com. Heidi, with all that you've done over the past few years, with you being so young, what has been the most memorable?
Out of everything I've done?
So far.
I think the trains, oddly. I mean, I love Disney and HBO and NBC, but there's something unbelievably, kind of intangibly magical about that world, and I'm madly in love with it. I'm madly in love with singing to those people, making them happy, and it makes me kind of giddy just thinking about it. It's almost undescribable, yet I tried to, in the book, portray it so other people could kind of at least try to get it, because it's brilliant there to me. It's the epitome of freedom and artistic freedom and human connection. And to me, that's, what more could you want? You know, and add truth in there. And to me, that's it. That's living. I mean, wow.
Yeah. Now, every author wants you to take away something from their work. What's the takeaway from the Subway Diaries?
I would hope, I wanted to give people a look at this world that many people judge. Many people judge. They walk by, they think, oh, the poor person, or they're homeless, or they don't have another choice, or many things go through people's mind. I wanted people to understand that we down there are probably some of the happiest people in Manhattan. I wanted people also to get that this world functions on a whole different set of priorities than most of the people above ground. Above ground, the things that are valued these days are wealth, success, youth, money, possessions, all that. Underground, it's art, compassion, kindness, generosity, moving people. And I wanted people to see that there are some other options as to priorities chosen for life. And the third thing would be that this world has no oversight. No one is in control of us. No one tells us when to go, when to stay, when to leave, when to start singing, when to stop singing, and, you know, what day to go down there, what time to start, what time to stop. And somehow, in the entire transit system of Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, it works. And it made me really question the way things are above ground, and even more so after 9/11. I mean, there are machine guns everywhere in Times Square. There's protection here. You're taking off your clothes, your shoes. You're being X-rayed in the airports. I mean, it's like, when does it stop? And it made me question just how dangerous are we to each other, really, really, like deep down, without people saying we're dangerous. How dangerous are we really? And those are the most important things, the priorities we've chosen, and really, what are we made of as human beings? The vehicle of the subways and the artists are just that, a vehicle to have people maybe think a little bit about what their passions are, what makes them happy, and what they want to do with their lives that brings them as much joy as I've found performing in underground.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about.
Always, sorry.
No, I was going to say that's what it's about. It's about the passion, and it's about what makes you excited. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we confuse it. We talk and we preach about passion and all that kind of stuff, but it also has to make you excited as well. And I was listening to my girl, the Beautiful Butterfly, earlier today, and she was talking about New Year's resolutions. And I didn't get an opportunity to chime in, Beautiful Butterfly, but I wanted to chime in. But we were preparing for the show today, and the question was, you know, do you make resolutions and things like that? And my question is yes, because the most important thing that you can do for yourself is you set goals for yourself. And the thing about goals is that goals are supposed to excite your imagination. And that's what they do. When you're excited and when you're passionate and things drive you, that's when you do things just because you love doing it. And when you talk about what you do, Heidi, you can really hear the excitement and the passion. And I really appreciate that. That's what today's show is all about. As a matter of fact, that's what Real Talk with Michael McFadden is all about. It's all about those that follow their passions and believe in themselves. I said earlier in the show, we're in the top 12% of, shows in our category, and we're coming for that number one. That's on the board. That's on the dream board, and that's what we have to do is we have to keep driving. My question for you is you've done a lot over the years. I mean, singing, songwriting, actress, stunt woman, now author. What's next for you?
Well, I'm actively planning a tour, international tour actually, because I love different cultures. For busking, performing, doing gigs, and book readings in other countries, included are France, Italy, the UK, where the book is very popular, and I'm looking forward to touring internationally and absorbing different cultures, South America, Latin America, and how that affects their music and how then their music will affect me and my songwriting and my performing. It always does, just like the trains have. I'm very eager to do that. Once my album is done, which is the next bit on my list, then I'm ready to fly, and I'm really looking forward to that adventure. I want to busk every train that exists if I can, and do a lot of gigs all over the world. I do. I want to see what they're about.
And that's awesome, man. We were talking earlier before the show. Please send me that track, and we'll definitely play it on Thursday's show for you because, that's what we do. It's all about support. I have a question up on Ustream. For everybody that's watching on Ustream, definitely thank you very much for checking your folk out. People keep asking me what's in the glass. What am I drinking? Can I disclose that? No, I'm not going to disclose it right now. But I got a question up in the I have a poll up in the up on Ustream right now, Heidi, and can you please answer the question? The question is best city to bring in the new year, and the choices are Atlanta, New York, Miami, and Vegas. And right now, Atlanta has 66% of the vote. One, because that's where we broadcast the show from, ATL. Vegas is in second, and Miami is right behind them. And nobody has voted for New York. So, best city to bring the new year. Yeah.
Wow. I've only. You're asking me my opinion on the best place. I've only experienced New York and in a big way, and I don't know. Atlanta must be something in year. Now I want to go down there and see what it's like this week. Wow. I'm gonna have to say New York for now because I get to gig on New York City on New Year's Eve. So, and playing for Manhattan on New Year's Eve is just nothing like it. In the middle of the city with all the public going by. So, if there's another place to do that, I'd vote for it. So I don't know. How is Atlanta subway?
Hey, come on, Mark. We have a bunch of characters down there. I'm pretty sure you will have a ball down there. So just holler at me, when you come in town. I'll meet you at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, and we can just ride the train all around.
Awesome. That sounds like a plan.
Now, here's your part right here, Heidi. This is all you right here. How can people continue to support what you do?
Oh, well, buy the book, of course, and that's a big thing. Keep it going. Request it if you have a local bookstore or you want it stocked somewhere. Request it. They can get it. They can stock it in your store. And follow me, and when my album is done in a few months, if you want me to perform and do readings in your town, in your area, at your bar, at your club, please go to my website and request it, or Twitter or Facebook, any of them. I'd love to visit any and all of you. It would be awesome. I'm in love with humanity, so I'll absorb it all.
Now, my final question, I ask this for all of my guests that are on the show for the first time. I know I'm going to have you back because I definitely want to have you back when you drop that new album or CD, as they say. Heidi, who are you and what do you do?
Who am I and what do I do? Wait, haven't y'all gone through that? I am, I think, first and foremost, a lover of the journey that is life and all the souls I meet. That's first and foremost. think my vehicle is my art. You know, I mean, I could have been anything. I could have had anything as my passion. It doesn't matter. Music is it, and so that's how I reach people and how people reach back to me, and the book and anything that I do with my art. So my journey is definitely from my heart, and to absorb everything I can. I kind of have this feeling I want to do it all, you know. Not sure there's going to be time, but and then through my art is how I do it. What was the second part? Who I'm in, and what was the other part?
And what do you do?
What do I do? Oh, I think I answered that. Yeah,
you did.
I try to move people. I really do. I mean, honestly, the most important thing underground. People ask me if it's, you know, do you do it for the money? And of course, I need to pay bills, but when it's different, it's more than that. When people come up to me underground and they say, you know, you just changed my day, or I just got off the train to hear you, or I've missed 4 trains so I can listen to you. That means more than $1 a case by far. I mean, that's why I do it. That's why I do it. That's the only reason I do it, is to make that movement in someone's day, someone's minute, someone's week. So
Heidi, you've been a pleasure to talk. You've been a pleasure to talk. Hey, you are always welcome to the show. I definitely want to hear from you when the album drops. Please send me a copy so we can play it on Thursday's show. If you need anything, you know how to get in touch with me. I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, my new friend from New York.
Right, and you're from D.C., right, originally?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I grew up in Southeast. Hey, hold on, before you go. Okay. My wife and I had a bet, okay? My question is, where are you? Where at in D.C. are you from?
Where did I grow up? I grew up way up near in Northwest, but near yeah. What was your bet? Where'd you bet? You thought it was from Virginia, right?
I'm sorry. Okay, I hope she's not listening to the show.
Wow, what was the bet? Who won?
I lost the bet because I said she's probably not from D.C. She's probably from Maryland or Virginia or something like
everyone
that.
Thinks that. Yeah. Everyone thinks that. No, I'm from D.C., but yeah, on the next show I'll tell you about my experience in touring with a show from a gospel show there in D.C. It was the closest to the subways that I came up until the subways.
No doubt.
Awesome experience.
Thank you very much. You've been a pleasure, girl. And I lost a bet because of you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Take care.
We'll win it back next time. Okay, bye.
Bye.